Recently, I've been watching a lot of videos on moon bases, but they all kind of look like this. Or maybe like this with just a turned over rocket or some glass domes. And I think I realized what they're all missing. Yes, me some random dude on YouTube has found the answer to what all these scientists are missing. They just aren't ambitious enough. That's the problem. Instead of designing all of our machines to function on the surface of the moon, why not just design the moon to function for us? I can't believe they haven't thought of this before. Just give the moon an atmosphere. It's easy. But before we hop into Universe Sandbox, if you haven't seen my channel before, I'm the Void, and you should hit that big red button right next to my name. It's actually the only thing easier than terraforming the moon. But with that out of the way, let's get on to the video. Hello everybody, welcome to Universe Sandbox 2. Now today we have one simple goal, and that goal is to take this and make it more like this. But it's a little bit harder than that, you see, because the moon doesn't really have a lot going on in the way of geologic activity, in the way of clouds, trees, oxygen, really anything. So we're going to try to terraform it, but the main problem is that I got to figure out how, and I don't really know how. I have been trying to do this lately, so I do know a bit of a strategy. I know a little bit about it. And the thing that I started with that seemed to work the other times was I try to mimic the composition of the Earth on the moon. That's the big idea. So right now, all we've got is iron and silicate. We're missing a lot of things, actually. We're missing argon, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, nitrogen. We're missing a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and add those real quick. Okay, so we're gonna need a little bit of argon. Then we're gonna need some sulfur dioxide. Oh, no, we don't. We don't need any sulfur dioxide. We're gonna need some oxygen for sure. Maybe not that much oxygen. This looks horrifying. I'm gonna chill out on the oxygen a little bit. That looks more reasonable. Yeah, that still looks moon-like, roughly. Carbon dioxide, we're gonna need a little bit of it. That's looking bluer, for sure. We got some water. And just a little bit of nitrogen. So now, I believe we have all of the components that the Earth has. Now that that's done, let's look at the Earth's similarity. As of right now, it's 66.9% similar to the Earth, and we have a 0% life likelihood. That's not very good, but that's going to change here soon. So our atmosphere mass is 0.12 of what Earth has. That's pretty low. What's the surface pressure looking like on Earth? 1 atmosphere, obviously. Maybe we can raise this just a little bit. Make it a little bit denser. It's about like 0.2 atmospheres. Yeah, I'm liking that. And I'll go over here to the visuals. This is just a cosmetic thing. So I'm going to lower the opacity of the atmosphere a little bit so we can see it and we know it's there, but not so much that I can't see like anything else. Now, what's the thing that all life likes? Well, that would be water, of course. So let's add in some water. Raise the sea level just a little bit. I think 11 feels all right. What's the sea level of Earth? Sea level 11.11. And the moon is 11. Okay. This is about exactly the sea level of Earth, so I like that. Okay, we've already got some life likelihood here. We're up to 6.49%. What I'm gonna do is turn on this vegetation button. Okay, and we already have some greenery going on, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna hit play here and kind of just see what happens. Make sure this doesn't all fall apart. Things are going all right. There's definitely a few more things we gotta figure out before this place is habitable though. Let's go to the surface and figure out the temperature. Right now we're chilling at 10.8 C. What does Earth chill at? 7.21 C, so a little bit hotter. We're at a minimum temperature of like 39, max temperature of 21.9. This is looking pretty Earth-like, to be honest with you. This is looking real Earth-like. Do we not have any ice anywhere though? It's kind of weird we don't have any ice or snow. Another problem with the moon is that it's tidally locked to the Earth. So we definitely need to take this day period and lower it down. Let's go closer to like maybe... Whoa, okay, hold on, it's orbital period. Hold on, that's orbital period, I don't want that to be closer. I apologize, I wanted the rotational period. Let's put this down to like 1.0 days. So if it rotates like Earth does, then hopefully that the whole surface gets heated more evenly than it was before. Let's see if that changes anything. Okay, we're up to 14.2% life likelihood, and we're 68% Earth similar. Okay. So we need to raise this life likelihood. I think a good way to do that would be to lower the temperature. So if we go down here to infrared emissivity, oh no, I gotta figure out how that word's pronounced.
Emissivity.
But I believe if I lower this, then our temperature will go down. Let's try to go down to like 11 perhaps? Let's see how this does. That was definitely lower than I wanted. Okay, let's go to 0.32. We're heating up. We're heating up. I feel like this is a kind of good temperature. What's my similarity like now? 13.1. Okay, we're definitely making progress. Now, how do we make this more similar than 13? I think we'll probably have to change the density because on Earth, where's Earth? Earth? There's Earth. Earth's density is 5.51 grams centimeter cube. And our density is a little bit lower than that, but here's the problem. I don't want to make the moon really that much bigger than it is, because I feel like that might be cheating a little bit. Probably everything I'm doing is cheating, but that just feels like extra cheating. So I'm gonna try to change the density. I'm gonna try to lock the radius, and maybe I can raise this up a little bit, maybe around like the 5 gram centimeter cubed mark. So our radius is the same, but our grams per centimeter cubed is a little bit higher. So if I go to my composition here, that got lower. Life is less likely now, okay? Maybe let's go down to 4? 12.4? And go down to 3 again. 12.3. So lower is actually closer to life? 12.7. Maybe there's like a sweet spot in here somewhere I'm missing. It's kind of weird how that worked. I thought that would work the other way. I guess I'm not a scientist for a reason. That didn't work. I thought that would work, but it didn't. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm going to try to make the material composition of my planet similar to that of Earth. Like, for example, Earth doesn't have carbon dioxide in its oceans in this simulator. So I'm getting rid of that. And ice, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to go through that and see if I can try to fine-tune these layers and maybe get some more habitability percentage out of it. I also just noticed that there's no oxygen in my atmosphere. That seems to be a problem. There seems to be a point with nitrogen where if you get too far, then like all the plants die. So I'm going to stay right on the edge of where the plants die. Probably right about here. Okay, so after adjusting these right here, I found, and raising my total material mass, we're up to like 40% life likelihood. So some other things here. Right now, the moon does not have a magnetosphere. Magnetosphere? I don't know, that's a superhero. I'm not sure which it is. The Earth certainly does. 2.0 moons. Nice. And this will protect us from all the crazy solar radiation. It's just kind of like a protective shield to protect all life. So now that we have one of those, and our chemicals are closer, I'm going to try to mess with the liquid and solid interior. I actually can't add iron into my core, so I guess I can't do that. I'm sure someone much smarter than me will tell me as to why I can't do that. After I unpaused, this number immediately went from 40% to 36%, so it was at this point in the video that my game completely crashed, and I'm not sure why. So I had to remake the moon. I tried to follow the same steps that I had, but things might have ended up a little bit different when I got back to this point. So if the planet looks a little bit different, that's probably why. Okay, so I've been playing around with the density a little bit of the planet. That seems to work pretty well. Have you noticed we now have something that appears to be polar ice caps, so that's pretty Earth-like. But if you check this out right here in the composition, we are chilling at a comfortable 52.1% life likelihood. 52.1% life likelihood is pretty good. Normally you could get it a lot higher, but the problem with this, of course, is the mass and radius and density of the moon, which I'm not really super willing to change. So right now, the composition of the atmosphere is pretty similar to what Earth's going on. So I imagine humans could breathe here, maybe. It might be a bit of a struggle, but it'd be pretty close. The oceans are just water, the ice are just water. You could definitely swim. If you think you can do better with me, please show me a video where you get this higher than 50 something, because I've been at this for a while, just kind of like tweaking these little numbers every once in a while, and 51 to 54 is about as good as I can get. Temperature's a little bit high. I guess it could be a little bit lower, but it feels like every time I change something, I'm at the point where something else gets worse. So humans would have a pretty good time here, with the exception of the gravity, of course. That would be kind of rough. Yeah, grav surface velocity and escape velocity is only 1.34 meters per second squared. But we've more or less achieved our goal here. We've made a habitable moon. If you made it all the way through the video, thank you. I appreciate all of you. Leave a comment on what I should do next or what I did wrong. I read every single comment, unless they're mean to me, in which case I cry. Hey, but if you want to see more from me, click the video right here in the corner. YouTube thinks that you will enjoy it, and goodbye for now.